Welcome to Arena 830, powered by Spin Master. We're back with Arena Central from the Rest Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's round 14, 3 competitions, 1 champion. Here is our star-studded Arena Series Central driver lineup for today's event. Fernando Martinez, Matt Cody, Triton Robbins, Angelina Knock, Montana Robbins, Jamie Sullivan, John Zimmer Jr., and John Zimmer Sr. all set to do battle on the dirt here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Up first, here is your racing bracket. Megalodon, Zombie, Sparkle Smash, Terminal Velocity going to kick it off. And there is John Zimmer Sr. in Zombie, ready to pull to the starting line for JCB Racing up against Angelina Knock. In Megalodon, we got our first green light. And here we go in Green Bay as John Zimmer Sr. trying to take the win here. But Angelina Knock with the lead at the halfway point. Look at the turn from Zombie, though. That is going to be the win as Megalodon goes over by the turning pod. Some carnage here in round 1 of JCB Racing. Up next, Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. She is going to go up against John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. And here we go, our second race, JCB Racing round 1 in Sparkle Smash off the chalk line. Early 2 great turns, avoiding the turning pod, but John Zimmer Jr. has the lead in Terminal Velocity. Final push, and there is another truck going over Sparkle Smash in the same spot as Megalodon. That slick corner coming around to that finish line. Going to be a problem for drivers. There is Matt Cody in Gravedigger, and there is Montana Robbins in Plain Crazy. Race number 3 here in round 1. We'll see if they can take the turn any better. Plain Crazy is up first. He's going to hit that turning pod, keeps it in the chalk line. Gravedigger has the lead. Matt Cody trying to hang on here. He has the lead at the halfway point, and it is Matt Cody, Gravedigger advancing, so no problem on that corner there for Gravedigger. Krazy Train, Triton Robbins in our final round 1 race will take on Fernando Martinez driving El Toro Loco, the 2 of the young rising stars in the sport. El Toro Loco with a great jump off the starting line. Right there through the chalk line, it is Krazy Train with the lead. Turning pod, stay put. Close finish, but in the end, Triton Robbins, Krazy Train going to get the win. He will advance to the semifinals. There's your bracket. Zombie, Terminal Velocity, Gravedigger versus Krazy Train. 2 spots on the pod remain for a final matchup. Father versus son, John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity against John Zimmer Sr. in Zombie. 1 will advance to the JCB Racing Finals. And we are off and running the semifinal round. First corner out wide goes Terminal Velocity, just missing the pod. John Zimmer Jr. takes that tight corner there again, and there is the win. So the son besting the father, student beating teacher. And John Zimmer Jr. moving on to the final round. Matt Cody, Gravedigger pulling out, going to restart here to the starting line and pull the black and green wrecking machine up. And he will face Triton Robbins, a Krazy Train who had a great pass in round 1. And we are off and running our final matchup in the semifinal round. 2 great corners, and at the halfway point, it is Krazy Train with the lead. Final turn here for Triton Robbins. He is going to stay up from start to finish. And Triton Robbins, Krazy Train advancing to the final round of JCB Racing. And face John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity will meet Krazy Train in our JCB Racing Finals. 8 points up for grabs. As we continue on with the action here at the Rest Center in Green Bay, there is the Krazy Train lights going, Terminal Velocity across the track on the far side. And we got a green light. We are off in the JCB Racing final round. 2 incredible racers here, 2 of the best on this series, the best in the arena circuit. Push to the finish line, but John Zimmer Jr. clipping the pod. And that is the difference as Triton Robbins and Krazy Train gets the win. And what a start to the day in Green Bay for the young kid out of upstate New York. Here is your current BKT leaderboard. Krazy Train with 8, Terminal Velocity with 7, Gravedigger and Zombie with 4, the rest of the field each with 2. 1 down and 2 to go in Green Bay with the Krazy Train continue to roll. Find out next on Arena 830, powered by Spin Master. Welcome back to Arena 830, powered by Spin Master. It's Arena Central, round 14 from Green Bay. Next up is the 2-wheel skills challenge. Each driver gets the opportunity to wow the crowd with a maneuver using only 2 wheels. There's your criteria. They get 2 attempts to do so. They're scored by fans on creativity and execution. And here is Megalodon's Angelina Knock with a reverse popper into a wheelie. She's going to go over again. Second time we have seen the roll from Megalodon. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, comes up the center ramp. She's going to go slow, going to try to take this out perhaps into a popper stopping combination. There is your popper. There is your nose wheelie as she takes it out past the chalk line. There is your stoppie into a moonwalk. So multiple combinations here as Jamie Sullivan has that truck up at that 180-degree level, gets it right over on the dip. and then back down. Comes onto the other side of the pod this time. Going for a popper here again down that ramp. And she's got a good one, is able to maintain control. Truck goes a little off to the left, but she's got that front and rear steer cooperating now. And Jamie Sullivan stops on a dime, now going to moonwalk his way back. Is Sparkle Smash right into that turning pod chalk line. Now back onto that pod. She does not have a good angle here. This could be a problem, and she is going to go over. So Sparkle Smash going over again. Look at that back tire just hanging on. 8.247, new leader Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Next up, Montana Robbins and Playing Crazy going to go for a popper off the log stack. Beautiful execution here, right into a nose wheelie. There's a stoppie. And now going to moonwalk. A lot of room up on that pod, but check out the angle of the truck. Going to fall off right there. So not a whole lot of room there for that moonwalk combination. And now Playing Crazy then on the far side. Comes off again into a stoppie right at the edge of that ramp. Going to have to accelerate this into reverse to get up over that ramp, onto that lip, and back onto the pod. We'll see if Montana Robbins makes it happen. Slow and steady here. Not going to punch the gas right now, and that's going to work out great as Playing Crazy gets an 8.327 in the two-wheel skills challenge. Next up out of California, Fernando Martinez, El Toro Loco. Trying to pop the back two BKT tires. He's got him up. Look at the traction though. The front two BKT tires catching on this dirt in Green Bay. It's been tacky all day, but that traction able to maintain it on the tires. Now he's got some work to do here as he is halfway up the ramp. Is he going to stay down, or is he going to try to take this truck back up onto that pod? There is a great angle. As you see, both front and rear wheels move. I'm going to try to flip it up. Not much on the reverse. And that'll be attempt number one for El Toro Loco. Popper on attempt number two. Look at the evolution there, the acceleration of that move. We have seen the popper grow since this competition was incepted just a few years back. And you see poppers going all the way out there to that pod. Fernando Martinez now gets the truck in a perfect position to flip it back up as he tries for the teeter-totter into another popper. And that is going to finally end the run. 8.834 for El Toro Loco. There's your new leader. Triton Robbins, Krazy Train, coming off the JCB Racing win. And he goes right up off that ramp, solid onto the center position of that pod into a stoppie formation. Back to BKT wheels perfectly into that elevated vertical spot, 180 degrees. As Triton Robbins now tries to figure out what he's going to do, reverses the truck back up onto the ramp, and he's got a little bit of room here to work with. Gets it up over the lip, and finally back down on the center pod. Krazy Train with attempt number two here, going on the far side. Comes back again, keeps it back two wheels, moving right into a moonwalk. Gonna flip it up again, gotta hit the gas with a wheelie, and some nice elevation, 8.389 for Triton Robbins in Krazy Train. What a day he's had so far. Here's John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He had a perfect event here last time in Green Bay, winning this competition, and now going to try to go back-to-back. Terminal velocity comes back, just absolutely toying with the truck right now in full control. Accelerates into reverse, flipping it back up. Just does not get the elevation of that front side of the housing. Here he goes again, attempt number two. Wheels the truck up onto the ramp, then back down. Going to try to get enough distance between the truck and the ramp to make this happen. He's got to punch it if he wants to hit it. Otherwise, it is all about skill. And slows it down, hits it over the lip, all the way back down again. This is where everybody's been trying to get it, but that dirt's so slick here in Green Bay. 8.380. That brings us to Matt Cody and Gravedigger over the log stack looking for a popper. Pops Gravedigger up all the way across the pod. Goes a long way on one wheel into the moonwalk. Finally gets it on the front wheels. Flips it back up. And just makes a nice catch. He was going over. Matt Cody able to catch it and keep the truck into that position. Now he comes up again for that second attempt. 8.325. Here's John Zimmer Sr. in Zombie. He's just going to go for a sky wheelie attempt off to the left of the center ramp. And now attempt number two going again. He's trying to get some finesse here and grease the back two wheels all the way across. This is what he was looking for, and he's got it on attempt number two all the way across. Him to stoppie moonwalk. He's going to try to get the truck back onto the pod, 7.737. And that means Fernando Martinez, El Toro Loco, is your winner in the Monster Jam Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. Here is your BKT overall leaderboard. Krazy Train still has a lead. Terminal Velocity in second, El Toro Loco third, Gravedigger fourth, and Playing Crazy currently rounding out our top five. We got a good one going on in Green Bay. Up next is Freestyle when we return with more Arena Central action on Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. Welcome back to Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. It's round 14 from the Rest Center in Green Bay. 2 competitions down, 1 to go. It is freestyle. There's your criteria. 15 seconds to qualify. I want to see that wow factor. Be creative. And we do have some obstacles here on this 6-sided pod for our drivers to hit, including that 8-pack, as we see Montana Robbins in Plain Krazy kicking us off in the final competition. He's going to go a little off to the left on that tire stack. That's able to get him some nice air going for a side slap on the back end. And now up over the log, brake check, vertical sky wheelie for Plain Krazy, the kid out of Buffalo, New York, one of the youngest competitors in Monster Jam, the youngest competitor in Monster Jam this season at 19 years of age, as he's got his older brother Triton here dominating so far tonight, the overall event leader right now. Montana trying to steal the freestyle win. Up over the log stack, slow rolls it into a stoppy combination. Look at the position of the truck, though. He was not all the way down, was able to still punch it into reverse and get the truck back in for a combo move. Plain Krazy now, whip back around, up over the log stack again, brake check, getting some nice throttle rhythm going here as Montana Robbins going from side to side on this small floor here at the Rest Center. There is a donut, and there is the end of the run. Here's the original super glue to the action replay right here off the log stack. You see the score 7.057. There's your brake check sky wheelie. And that'll do it for Plain Krazy. Next up out of Sarasota, Florida, it is Angelina Knock in Megalodon. She has rolled the truck twice so far, so they're going to try to keep the truck at least upright through this competition. Former Daredevil, one of the bright young female superstars in Monster Jam, just has had some really rough luck here on this tacky dirt in Green Bay, but so far so good for Megalodon. As the shark comes in again to the pod, there's a nice jump, biggest air so far of freestyle. Nice wheelie combination move. Comes up right short on the lip into a slap wheelie combination. And now Megalodon feeling it. Angelina Knox starting to build that momentum, build that throttle rhythm here in this freestyle run as we're seeing one jump after jump after jump. The big air starting to build up. And that's what's important in these arenas. Nice popper combination move there as well. And that'll do it. Here's the original super glue to the action replay. Right up over the tire stack. New leader 7.381. There's your wheelie combination for Angelina Knox. She takes the freestyle lead, and the crowd letting her have it and letting her hear how well they love her in Green Bay. Next up, Zombies. John Zimmer Sr., a veteran, former Gravedigger driver, former Dragon driver, now behind the wheel of Zombie for Send It Motorsports. Been a little quiet this afternoon here in Green Bay. Zombie trying to get his first win of the day all the way out on the deep side of this track. That gives him a lot of room. Nice floater jump for John Zimmer Sr. Cannot get the front end down, so not a floater, but he does get some finesse on the backside of that wheelie combo. He's going to climb up onto the pod and keep those back two BKT tires moving. Up over the tire stack again. Great track awareness on these arenas. I always talk about being creative, knowing where your truck is, knowing where the obstacles are. There's a donut. No donut competition tonight. Might as well throw some into freestyle. And then John Zimmer just trying to climb over the pod from one side of this arena floor to another. A lot of room there. Over the tire stack again, goes off to the left. Brake check a little short on the landing. And now he comes right over Gravedigger and Megalodon. So a little brake check action there. And that'll do it for Zombie. Here's the original super glue to the action replay, 7.833. We got a new leader out of Howell, Michigan. It is John Zimmer Sr. driving Zombie. Nice, consistent run, using everything on that track. Zombie Nation out in full force here in Green Bay. Coming up next, we are not done. It is the conclusion of freestyle. We crown our event champion. Stay right where you are. More Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master, is next. We are back with more Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. Round 14 from the Rest Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is Arena Championship Series Central. We got a good one so far. Matt Cody, Gravedigger, now out looking for his first competition win. And a nice jump up over that single log. Matt Cody, what a story. We've talked about it on Arena in 30 before, but coming from the independent scene, from Vodders Motorsports at Hagerstown Speedway to getting a spot on a Monster Jam Series in Gravedigger to winning Arena Championship Series West a year ago. And now fighting for the Central Series Championship. There's your score to beat, 7.833 from Zombie. You're seeing the brake checks continuing to happen. That's going to help him continue that rhythm and be able to maintain control on his jumps. That's why they do it. Now Matt Cody's going to back up. He is all the way over by the center. He's going for the 8-pack. Gravedigger for the backflip, and he has got it. Matt Cody just does not stick the landing, just a little too strong, and the momentum's going to carry him over. Take a look at the original super glue to the action replay. Doesn't push away. That was the only issue. He stays right there close to the ramp, and that's going to cost him, but it doesn't cost him the lead. As now Gravedigger is out in front in freestyle. And the man that's got to follow that is Fernando Martinez and El Toro Loco, the Monster Jam co-reigning Rookie of the Year for 2024. And now Fernando Martinez might go over as well. Again, this dirt just eating up trucks one after another. We always see that on the Stadium Series because the weather is such a huge factor in making dirt tack. You don't see it a whole lot in arenas, but man, this Green Bay dirt just eating up truck after truck. Look at the spin from El Toro Loco. Fernando Martinez able to roost the dirt and continue staying in those boundary lanes, those chalk lines, big time air for Fernando. Tries to get a stop. He can't get it on the landing, but he's able to come back again. There's a floater jump for you out of El Toro Loco. Near side, deep area of this floor. Thought about the backflip. Instead, he goes for a popper, almost loses it. And he's able to maintain control. So the 8-pack definitely in the sights here. Fernando Martinez, he is staring it down. Instead, he goes right back up onto the pod and trying to get a stoppie. He has got it. I'm not sure how he caught that. But Fernando Martinez able to get it drilled here as he gets a one-wheel moonwalk back up over the pod. Fernando Martinez with a great run. Here's the original Superglue glued to the action replay. 9.031 is the score. So the backflip for Gravedigger, the difference right now in that freestyle lead. Absolute perfection from Fernando on this combination move. One-wheel moonwalk all the way across the pod. As he was awaiting that score to come in, he just saw it, didn't realize he did not take the lead. A little disappointment there for Fernando Martinez, but a great run nonetheless. Here is Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. As we see, the unicorn has gone over so far today, so a little body damage there. You don't see the mane, that beautiful pink, purple, and blue mane flying high right now. So Jamie Sullivan going to try to right the ship here in freestyle and keep the truck upright. 1,500 horsepower, 12,000 pounds, 4 BKT tires. Driving solid steel here for Jamie Sullivan. Out of Christmas, Florida, rising star in Monster Jam. She has had a dynamite year, a dynamite career so far since coming over from the independent scene. UNOH graduate, worked for J.R. McNeil and the team out of Florida before finding her spot in Monster Jam, the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, now on Team Sparkle Smash with Kayla Blood, making a lot of waves in the 2025 Monster Jam season. Sparkle Smash whips around, gets the truck centered up over the tire stack right into a stoppie. What a move for Jamie Sullivan. Great awareness of where she was at on the pod and is able to get that shift. Here's the original Superglue glue to the action replay. Look at the brake. She just hammered down on that brakes to get into that stoppie, right into reverse. Tries to get it up here onto the pod, but look at that right tire. Just not anywhere near it. She would have hit the 8-pack and would have rolled it from the back there. So Jamie Sullivan is done. John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity, is out next. Also out of Howell, Michigan. Also riding for Team Senate Motorsports. He had a perfect event. I mentioned that earlier. Last time this series was in Green Bay, winning all 3 competitions. Look at the air clearing the pod. First time we've seen that so far today. He comes into freestyle trailing the overall event lead by 2. Great freestyle run. Could win John Zimmer Jr. his second Green Bay event championship. Look at the floater up over the 8-pack. Doesn't do the backflip. Instead, keeps the truck at that vertical height. Vertical base comes up a little short here as the body starts to shed off Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer Jr. now whips the truck around. There is your brake check again, clearing the pod. He goes from angle to angle. Watch where he puts this truck when he tries to jump the pod. Absolute perfect awareness. A bicycle in an arena. That's why we don't see a whole lot of him. Just does not have the room or the angle on the pod. But what a run. Here is your vertical sky wheelie. Look at the landing. Bounces it up. Matt Cody in Gravedigger continues on with a freestyle lead. That brings us to our current overall event leader. It is Triton Robbins in Krazy Train. A 4th place or better finish gets him the overall event championship. So a lot on the line here for the kid out of Buffalo. Father Bob Robbins, a Monster Jam legend, driving the Aftershock truck. Very popular still through a lot of nostalgic Monster Jam fans. Bob is on hand here to guide his sons on this team. All run in the family. They built these trucks from the ground up. Krazy Train, such an iconic look and an incredible truck, and what a year so far Triton Robbins is having on Arena Championship Series Central. Both of them strong contenders for the Monster Jam Rookie of the Year award. There's a sliding wheelie across the pod for Triton Robbins and Krazy Train. Back up over the center ramp. He's going to go from one side of the pod. This could be a popper or a stoppie, and he is able to get the stoppie. But again, that wheelie's going to have to really guide this. The truck turns. He did not have good placement on that front right wheel. That's why the truck turned, but he is able to keep it all on balance and continue on with this freestyle run. That could have been disastrous, but Triton Robbins showing off his skill inside the cab of the Krazy Train. Krazy Train continues to roar on here, now going for another donut. We do have, even though it's a smaller arena, deep side floor for donuts here as we see the original super glue glued to the action replay. There's the big air brake check, 8.434 for Triton Robbins. There's your final BKT leaderboard, 21 for Krazy Train, 18 for Terminal Velocity, 17 Toro Loco, 16 for Gravedigger, and 9 apiece for Zombie and Sparkle Smash. So Matt Cody owns the freestyle win, but Triton Robbins gets the overall event win. And we are going to head down to the track here at the Rest Center in Green Bay to join Carlos Carabella and our overall event champion, Krazy Train's Triton Robbins, in this Northern Tool and Equipment Pit Report.
Triton Robbins, overall event champion. That's gotta feel good. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, you know, I'm out here just having fun. The truck felt good. Bringing back some old school moves, some walking wheelies, some slap wheelies, some big air. Just staying consistent, get the overall. Can't wait for the next show. Love you guys. Woo!
And just before we let you go, we were in the tunnel there. I was talking to your dad. He was like, hey, we have a chance. We have a chance. He's just got to go out, get this score. And you made it happen. Did you know that you were in the running going into that last freestyle run?
Well, I know it was pretty close, but like I said earlier in racing, there's no free rounds here on this Arena Championship Series. Everybody is a very talented driver. The points are close. The racing close. Everything's close. Heck yeah, let's do it!
One more time, your overall event champion, Triton Robbins, Krazy Train.
Little late edition confetti shower there from Sparkle Smash. Triton Robbins continues to shine in his incredible rookie season, emerging as a heavy favorite to win that coveted Rookie of the Year award. You can keep up with all the action on this series as well as the East and West right here all season long. From Green Bay, I'm Scott Jordan. I'll see you right here next time on another brand new edition of Arena in 30 powered by Spin Master.